Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, I am making this I'm making this video special because I got a message last night on Instagram from a young lady who is wanting to talk to her children about addiction and help them to understand and kind of educate them so that way they don't go down the same path she did, right? And so she asked me if I could make a video about what to say or how to go about bringing up the topic of addiction with children. And I'm going to do that right now. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and take a second, subscribe to my channel, give these videos a thumbs up. It lets me know that you're liking the content, you're here with me, you're supporting me, and every like or dislike that you give me, it helps push that video out there to get recommended to other people that might need to see it. So welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I'm probably going to be saying that for a while because I'm just so excited. But yeah, thanks for being here, and let's get into it. So what I do on my channel is I always try to share my personal experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my experience, how I go about talking with my son about the disease of addiction. And I'm also going to try and talk about age-appropriate ways to bring up addiction and talk to your children. Because, okay, so here's the thing. Some parents have different relationships with their children. Okay, I know for me and my son, we are extremely close. And he's really mature for his age. So I talk to him about drugs and alcohol, and I let him know that that drugs and alcohol are bad for our bodies, that sometimes people make bad decisions or bad choices, and when you use alcohol or drugs, it can cause you to not be able to stop, you know. And I also want to point him in the right direction and let him know that there are going to be people in his life who are going to say, hey, look at this. This is cool. Take this. Take that pill. It's so cool. Let's do it together, right? Now, right now, he's only 5, and I haven't started going into that kind of conversation with him yet. I don't think I'm going to start talking to him about what kind of substances or, you know, peer pressure until he's probably about 8 or 9. So he's got about 2.5, 3 years. But we do talk about making good choices. We talk about right from wrong. We talk about the consequences that we have if we make a bad decision or a bad choice. And showing your children that there are consequences behind each action, that's going to help them to understand more. I think that it can be really nerve-wracking, especially if you have young children. You think, oh my gosh, when do I need to be talking to my kids? When do I need to be warning them? When do I need to be letting them know what to look out for? And I almost feel like you're going to know because your child is going to prompt you. Okay, your children are going to lead the way. My son came home, he's in kindergarten, and I was asking him how his day at school went. And one of his friends, they did something they weren't supposed to do. They said a cuss word, the B word. Oh, and I was like, really? And I said, well, did you say something? And he said, Mom, friends don't tell on friends. He has a pack, these little boys he runs with, and they have all come to this agreement that each one of them won't tell on the next one. And I said, baby, I understand that you're protecting your friends, but if it comes down to something serious where someone's getting hurt or something's being done and y'all are breaking the rules, you either need to walk away or you need to let someone know, because it can be dangerous. I don't want him to think it's okay to turn the other cheek if someone is hurting someone or doing something that could hurt or harm, you know, themselves. Now, I know little boys are going to hide out on the playground and probably say cuss words to each other. and say kiss and girl and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you would be so surprised the stuff that he came home saying the first couple weeks he was in school. I was so scared. I was like, oh my God. But like right now, he came home. They had Red Ribbon Week. And he came home. He said, Mom, we were talking about drugs at school. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, drugs and alcohol. And I said, well, that's good. They tell you not to do drugs, right? Just say no to drugs. And he said, yeah, but I thought we weren't supposed to talk about that till I was 18. And I'm like, well, babe, we're educating you. You're learning so that way you know what to look for. Because here's the thing, you guys. There's nothing wrong with keeping those lines of communication open with your child, okay? Do I expect you to sit down and talk to your kids about injecting needles and all this craziness? No. But you can say, that drugs are bad. They cause you to make bad choices. They can hurt and harm you. And it's not good to take them. They're not healthy. Because right now my son is learning about healthy eating, healthy drinking, water, all that good stuff. Now, if you have children that are teenagers, I think it's time. Sit down and talk to them. Talk to them about the dangers of using cocaine, drinking alcohol, smoking pot, because all those substances, when you're young, when you're under the age of 18, your brain is still developing. And when you take substances into your body, it's going to stunt your emotional and mental growth, okay? So I started using drugs and alcohol at 17 years old. I basically stopped maturing at 17, and I've been playing catch up ever since I got sober 4 years ago. If you have teenage children, you need to sit down and have a conversation with them, and they need to know that they can come to you about anything. It's very, very important to let them know that no matter what happens, you're not going to be angry at them, and there's nothing to be afraid of. They can tell you anything. I want my son to know that if he's somewhere and he feels uncomfortable, that he can call me and I'll be right there. I want him to know if one of his friends is getting high or drunk and he's worried and he knows that's not right, that he can leave and it's going to be okay. For me, when I was growing up, I was insecure. I'm trying to instill confidence in my son so that way he doesn't second guess himself and do things because he wants to fit in or because he wants to be a part of. I want him to be a natural leader, and I want him to feel confident in the decisions that he makes. So educating my son about addiction and about drugs at an age appropriate way right now is absolutely, I suggest starting early. And if your kids, like I said, if they're teenagers, get on it. Let them know, the communication between you guys is open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to some other parents of all different kids at different ages. And I'm going to ask them all different questions. And I'm going to have them on the channel. And we're going to talk about, maybe we'll do like a 3-way live stream where I talk to different people who have different age children. And we'll talk about how we started the conversation with our kids. But honestly, you guys, I love my son, and I can sit down and talk to him about anything. Will he understand it? Probably not, because he's only 5. So that's why there's age appropriate ways. Now, I didn't know if you guys know this, but Sesame Street has a character named Carly on the channel who is in foster care because her mom is a drug addict, an opiate addict, and she goes to meetings. So if you have young children, you can put Sesame Street on, and Sesame Street is tackling addiction. If you guys ever have any questions or you just need someone to talk to or kind of like talk things out with, you can message me and we can bounce ideas off of each other. If you have kids and you're like, I don't know what to do, just reach out to me. I'm more than willing to sit down and talk with you. And if you want me to sit down, have a 3-way phone call with you and your kids, I'll do that too. Another way to talk to your children about addiction is to have someone else come in. Someone like me who has been in active addiction and who has lost a lot of things because of my addiction, to sit down and talk with them and share with them the consequences that come behind using drugs. Because it's kind of like a scared straight tactic, Let them know that, I went to prison behind using drugs. And if they want to lose their freedom, then go down that drug path. But that's also another way you can talk to your children about addiction. So whatever you do, just know that you're doing the best you know how to do for your children, and you and your child have a bond like nobody else will ever understand. So don't let anyone make you second guess what you're doing with your kids, because I know if you're like me, you're trying to do the best job you know how. So I applaud each and every one of you. If you have children and you're in recovery, I'm so damn proud of you, and we got to keep on pushing forward. And I love you guys, and I'm just like I said, I'm proud of you guys, and keep doing the damn thing. Don't let anyone make you think that you're not doing right. All right? I love you guys. I hope that helped a little bit. And like I said, I'll get some people on here to come on and share their experience. In fact, Jexie's going to come on next week and share her story, and we'll ask her, because she has children that are older than my son, and we'll ask her how she talked to her kids about addiction. All right? All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.